I am joined here with the inside linebackers coach for the two-time defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, Coach Brandon Daly. Coach Daly, thank you so much for joining us here. We are here in Springfield, Illinois, a place you know a little bit about, I hear.
Got a lot of fondness for the area, for sure. Proud to be from there.
So tell us a little bit. Let's start with the hometown sentimental stuff. Then we can get into the game, the stuff that I'm really interested in talking about. You're Sacred Heart Griffin graduate. Tell us a little bit about your time at SHG and maybe something that stands out about you now getting to this point in your career, and maybe you can draw all the way back from a coach or a person at SHG that really impacted you as a young man.
Oh, man, I could go on for days about my time at SHG and how important that's been to me through my entire life, to be honest. A lot of pride in going to school there. A lot of pride and love and respect for the people there. Teachers, administrators, coaches, classmates, all the way around. Obviously formative years for me, and I grew a lot through that time. Being a part of the football program there was probably what, energized me and fueled the passion that I have that has propelled me to this career, to be honest. And, so many great teammates that I'm still in touch with, so many, the mentors there. Obviously, Ken Leonard, who everyone knows, but Jimmy McMahon, defensive coordinator, still a very good friend. John Sawinski, God rest his soul, to this day might be one of the single greatest coaches that I've ever been around in terms of teaching technique and fundamentals. Those guys, Marty Lamalino and Bob Brenheisen, and I mean, so many that I can't get to them all, but just a fantastic organization and fantastic program that was really a great model for me as a young individual, for sure. So.
Now, Coach, I may be one of the most unique people to ask you this question because I actually spent a lot of time at Drake University in Des Moines, Iowa. My younger brother was a Drake Bulldog, played college football there. So I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about that time as an FCS guy and also now as a coach. When you get guys from that FCS level into the NFL, do you take a little extra pride in helping those guys be successful?
Oh, I absolutely love it, yeah. I've got a lot of pride in the Drake program where I came from there, and have stayed close with that program. Just had a coaching turnover there in this past cycle. We lost a really good one in Todd Stepsis, but replaced him with a really good one as well. So anyway, my time there was formative as well. And there's a number of guys that were teammates of mine with Rob Ash when that program, when I went through that program. A number of my teammates are coaching as well right now in very, successful careers. But yeah, I love my time there, and I take a lot of pride in 1AA guys. Eric Saubert is a guy out of Drake who's playing in the NFL. He's with the 49ers now. Always say hi to him as I run into him, playing against him. And I love that part of the draft process and finding 1AA guys or smaller school guys. It doesn't have to be 1AA or FCS or non-scholarship, to be honest. Just smaller school guys. I love digging through and finding those type of individuals. Unfortunately, you don't find as many of them anymore with the transfer rules. Usually when they become good enough, they start transferring out of those places. So there's fewer of them at this point. But love that level of football for sure.
Coach Daly, I also wanted to touch on the fact that your resume is quite unique and special. You've had an incredible tenure, college as a coach, but in the NFL, specifically working with the Patriots and winning Super Bowls with New England and now winning Super Bowls with Kansas City. Just really quickly, tell me something that is similar between the two programs. When you're both winning in both places, what have you seen from the two head coaches, probably two of the best head coaches in NFL history, in Bill Belichick and Andy Reid, that you're like, this is a winning culture in both places?
Yeah, well, you can start with the obvious in terms of Hall of Fame head coach, Hall of Fame quarterback. There's a good recipe right there.
Yeah.
But beyond that, you're right. The culture in both places would be elite, to pick a word to describe it. The football IQ, the high character individuals, the selfless mindset and everyone committed to a team goal as opposed to their own individual agendas is probably the biggest theme that I could take away from those two places that's allowed us to be successful.
Specifically for this game, Coach, now you're with the linebackers, and you got a great group with Bolton and Chanel and Tranquil. And you also have worked up front with your guys, Chris Jones and Karlaftis, that defensive line. You got Saquon Barkley on the other side, and that is something really different from Super Bowl 57 to Super Bowl 59. When you're just looking at that film on Saquon Barkley, what does he do that you're telling your guys right now, if we can stop this, we got a chance to stop Saquon?
Well, stopping him is a very relative term. That guy is an elite player. He's an elite player in the run game. He's an elite player in the pass game. He's a very good protection back. So he's a football player. He's not one-dimensional. He does a number of things extremely well. His running style, to me, you can't let him get going and build speed. When he gets in the open field, he's an extremely tough tackle. We got to do a good job of building a wall at the line of scrimmage and not letting him get into space. When we do that, we're going to have to tackle well. He does a great job of spinning on contact. He's got good power. He's got good balance on contact. So we're going to have to do a good job of wrapping up. We're going to have to use, a low target on tackles and get to his legs. We can't be up high and getting stiff-armed and falling off of tackles. So it's a challenge. There's no question. He's an elite player. We'll be up for it. It's a matter of how successful we'll be.
Now, we talked about Andy Reid, Bill Belichick. You worked some incredible head coaches, but also a guy who you can make the argument could become a Hall of Famer as a coordinator in Steve Spagnuolo. What have you learned from him and your defense as you handled Josh Allen last week and their tush-push? You got a new tush-push challenge coming up this week. What does Spags do that really just blows you away day to day in the meetings?
Well, he does a great job of putting together calls and structures of defense with complementary looks, in my opinion. Maybe window dressing something a little bit differently, or finding something that we've done or shown in the past and putting a little wrinkle or a twist on it that makes it unique or different for the offense to deal with or identify what's coming. And so I've learned a lot from him over the years there. We've had a good run here in terms of 6 years in Kansas City. I was with him in St. Louis for 3 years, way back when he was a head coach. And we weren't quite as successful in terms of wins and losses at that point, but I gained a tremendous amount of respect for how he game planned, especially on third down back in those days. He does a really good job of attacking offenses and putting pressure and stress on the quarterback on each and every play.
All right, Coach, we're going to let you go here in just a second. I got two final questions for you. My boss has said to me when I booked you as a guest, said, if you don't ask him if he's met Taylor Swift, they're going to be mad at me. So this is not coming from me. Have you and the defensive guys met Taylor Swift?
Met would be a relative term. I don't know that I've officially met her. We've shared a fist bump after the Super Bowl last year at the after party. And I have had some of the phenomenal Pop-Tarts that she makes and has sent in. But I haven't spent a ton of time.
Coach, we appreciate it. For one final thing, I got to go to my first Kansas City Chiefs game at Arrowhead this year. I was at the Black Friday game against the Raiders. Arrowhead is such a special experience, special place. After you win a Super Bowl, you've won them before. What is the town like? Where are you going out for barbecue? Are you guys? It's such a unique experience, that fan base. Just share us a little of that insight. What it's been like in the past for you guys after you take home that trophy back to Kansas City.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal. I mean, the parade celebration here, in the times we've gotten an opportunity to do it, has been tremendous. The town just bleeds red, in terms of Chiefs red. And the energy is fantastic. It's like that right now going into the game, to be honest. But it's a special thing to share. And, my wife is from Kansas City. And so she's got a large extended family that are all rabid fans. And as I've gotten indoctrinated into the community with my kids in schools and whatnot, and getting to know the fabric of the community, it's a special place from that standpoint. It really is. And they're all about the Chiefs. And, when we've won, it's been fantastic. We're hoping to give them that excitement again here.
Coach Brendan Daly from the Kansas City Chiefs. Thank you so much for giving us your time this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on with anybody in Central Illinois.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to watch more videos from Fox Illinois.